Today on the show, we're going to make a light, but not just any light. We're going to make a logo light to hang on the wall here over my shoulder. So I want to have this be plywood and plexiglass. I have a few ideas on how this is going to work out. I've made up a few stencils for the different pieces I'm going to need, but mostly I'm going to just kind of figure it out as I go along. First off, if you're going to make a light, you need a light source. So I decided to originally go with some of these battery-powered LEDs. I picked them up at a local store during the holidays for about €1 or $2 a piece. I just thought that they're super handy to have, so I loaded up on a bunch of them. But over the holidays, I was actually randomly gifted this string of lights that have little plastic unicorns on them. I have it wrapped around a scrap piece of wood to not tangle. We'll see which one works out better. Next would be the wood. We're just going to go with some scrap plywood that was on some shipping material that I received. And then for the plastic, I'm going to use the insert out of an IKEA picture frame that I saved after the picture frame died. So let's get started. Alright, to make the cuts, I'm just going to use the jigsaw. Now, let's move on to the back piece. Now, since these are just scrap backer pieces, they don't have to be measured out perfectly, so I'm just going to do them about 1 inch each. I think we're ready for assembly. Just gonna clean the edges up real quick. Okay, now let's figure out our spacing. And while that dries, let's go ahead and strip all of the unicorns off of our light. Here, I'll do this with the lights on, so that if I break something anywhere along the line, I'll know when it happens. So that is the last of the unicorns. So I'm just going to re-wrap the light. Now we'll set aside these unicorns because you never know when you're going to need a pile of pink unicorns. Now let's glue the W down. I can't say I'm a fan of this applicator, but I find it to be a lot harder than just getting a regular tube of super glue. Now I'll set this off to the side and put a weight on it and let it dry. I'm going to use the rotary tool next to try to buff off some of the rougher edges and permanent marker off of our plastic. There we go. Don't know how I feel about that. That was like night and day. That was for sure the answer that I should have gone with the first time. I think because it had the more abrasive, harder surface that it was able to actually start sanding off very finely the rough cut edge as well as the permanent marker, whereas with the softer polishing one, I think that it was just spinning so fast that it was melting it before it could do anything else. Let's check on the glue. So there we go so far. And so what these pieces are going to do, they are going to slide in behind here. I shouldn't have glued right here. The only one that shouldn't be here, so hopefully I can knock it out. Oh, farts. Well, we got it off. That's the good thing. So now we'll just go ahead and re-glue this. In doing so, I noticed that I have a little crack right here in the W that I'll go ahead and fix at the same time. Well, I've used that up almost immediately. Definitely disappointed in this buy. Won't be buying one of these squeeze type of super glue again. So I'm just going to rough the surface a little bit to get off the glue residue, and then I'm just going to use a regular wood glue. And as I set this, I realized that this one is also going to be in the way, so I'm glad I checked before I let it set. So I think a little bit more planning would have definitely been beneficial. Now we'll let that dry, and while it does, I'll need to cut a small little notch in each of the plastic pieces to let the cable for the lights slink through. Perfect. Now while we let the glue set, I'm going to pack away the rotary tool and pull out the hot glue gun, because that's what we're going to use to install these plastic pieces. The paper backing didn't cut away when I was cutting these little notches, so I'm just gonna scrape that off here with my blade. You might notice I look over often. It's because I work in my garage with the door open. But without opening that door, I only have one little light in here, and it does not cut the mustard. Let that heat up a bit more. Let's see how we're doing here. Helps if you turn it on. I have to say this is the first hot glue gun I've ever owned that actually has a power switch on it. So I'm just not used to that functionality for a hot glue gun, and we've been sitting here waiting for it to heat up without it being on. So that should speed things up. There we go. And that is the first piece in. I think that's coming together nicely. So this next piece is its own freestanding guy, floating out here like so. Well, I guess I should have foresaw that. Only one of them is actually large enough to fit the light through. I think we're going to get the Dremel back out. So I decided on the fly there it'd be easier to punch through the back and right back in around the other side. Just doing a little cleanup before we run the lights through, and then we'll be all done. Alright guys, I am back. I just took a little break to go out on a date with my wife. We went and saw the new Deadpool movie, and I really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. Then picked up my daughter at school and had family dinner, and now I am excited to get this project wrapped up. Let's run some lights. So I am warming up the hot glue gun as I run the lights, just so I can use it to tack the lights into place. I'm of course pulling the lights almost all the way through so I can start at the end and work my way back. Well, I have definitely made a little bit of a mistake. I intended on having the plug unit, or the battery unit, be on the back side, and I have forgotten to feed it through from the back to start, so we will figure out how it will live up front. So for the moment, I think that's going to be all she wrote. Don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but all in all, I think I am happy with this for my first project, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching me build it. If so, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I hope to be putting out at least one video a week with anything from projects like this to sewing projects, clay, woodworking, anything that really crosses my mind that I want to do or need done for the house. I'd love any suggestions that you guys have. Again, thanks for watching. This is Willie for Willie Makes. Have a great day. Talk to you later.